Hi, I'm Mark Walker. I'm the editorial director at the FinTech Times, and we're here at Seamless Middle East with Seamless TV. So let's start off with, perhaps you would like to introduce yourself first of all to our audience.
Sure. Hi, my name is Anupam. I am the EVP for APAC, Middle East and Africa for NIUM. NIUM is one of the unicorns out of Singapore and based in San Francisco now. And I'm having a great time being here at Seamless. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so you gave us a little bit of an overview there of NIUM.
Yes.
Hopefully I pronounced that correctly.
You did. Yes, that's right.
So what are you actually? What's the service and the product that you're offering? Obviously, from the base of Singapore, but globally.
Yeah. So NIUM is basically a company that moves and manages money across borders for very large institutions. For financial institutions, large enterprises. The core competency of NIUM is to be able to provide a tank grade service or bank grade service to anyone or any company that requires movement of money across borders in real time. And the key being real time money movement. So we're present in 190 markets around the world, out of which about in 100 markets we're able to move money in real time. We are licensed in 40 different jurisdictions around the world. Headquarters out of San Francisco, key offices in Singapore, in London, and other parts of the world. That's what we do.
Okay, so picking up on the sort of obviously moving money around the world, I wouldn't say it's simple, but there's plenty of people doing it.
Sure.
But I think the key that you're talking about there is actually the security element and the robustness. So talk us through that a little bit. What do you do to go over and above?
Yeah. So let me take a step back and explain what NIUM does at a maybe a little deeper level. So for example, you go to a bank, let's say, we have clients around the world, largest banks. We just signed a deal we announced last week with ENDB right here. Mashreq Bank is a client as well in UAE. So to give you an example of Mashreq Bank, what happens as a customer, you go to Mashreq Bank's tool that's on a mobile app or a website, and you say, hey, I want to send money to the UK. So what Mashreq Bank does is they hand over the transaction to NIUM. NIUM provides a rate to the customer and say, here's your exchange rate. The customer says, yes, I like the exchange rate. We actually take the money and move the money to the beneficiary in the UK. Then we come back to the customer on the web app or mobile app and explain to them, hey, your money has gotten there. This is the amount of exchange rate you got, and money's already there. And we do that in 100 markets. Now, what is the benefit that NIUM provides? I think security, robustness are obviously key, but what is more important in my mind is the ability to do this in real time, right? Dimensionalize the space for you. Business-to-business payments, right, are a $150 trillion market. Consumer payments are $2.3 trillion market. So can you imagine 150 trillion versus 2.3 trillion? The $150 trillion market takes an average of 2 to 3 days, sometimes 5 days, to move money from country A to country B. On the consumer side, I think the problem has largely been solved. For example, you could take an Uber in the US and pay through your credit card. You could come to UAE and also pay for Uber using the same credit card. You don't have any friction really, right? So the problem is, it's there, but it's largely been solved. But on a B2B space, for example, you're sitting here in UAE and you want to buy something from, let's say, Brazil. That money movement to pay for the goods could take upwards of 5 to 7 days to get the money to Brazil. And the amount of money you get in Brazil may not be the amount of money you actually send, because there's a lot of players in the middle who take a cut. And in that 5 days, exchange rate fluctuates, right? So you never know. So if you're a supplier in Brazil waiting to supply something and you're expected to receive, let's say, $100 equivalent, but you end up receiving $95, you're not going to ship the goods. You're going to say, hey, wait, I need my $5 more. Once I get them, then I'll ship you the goods. By moving these payments in real time and at a fraction of the current cost, there's a huge benefit from a working capital perspective, et cetera, that the end customer gets. That's what NIUM does.
Yeah. So as you say, that is quite unique, as you say, maybe not so much in the consumer space, but in the B2B sort of area. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And do you think this is a result of sort of improvements in cross-border payments are helping businesses do more business overseas? And
Absolutely. Working capital is a lifeblood for any business around the world, right? If I can get my money sooner to me, I'll be able to ship the goods sooner to you. If I get the right price point for the goods, it enables global commerce, right? In addition to that, we also, for example, provide very specialized services. For example, even in the UAE, there's this whole concept of gig economy that has come around after COVID. People can be anywhere in the world working for a company, let's say, sitting in the US. And they expect their payroll to come to them in the UAE at the end of the month in the dollar amount that they expect, right? So we enable those types of payments as well, right? So we power some of the largest, we call them employer of record platforms around the world to help them move and manage their money. So the money gets to you on time, every month in the same dirham that you expect it to be. Very unique way of moving money around the world.
Yeah. And do you, from the business point of view, do you see any of the consumer trends we're seeing in money movement coming into the business world, like, using more wallets, less cash, more digital currencies? Are you seeing any increase in that?
Yeah, there is, right? Look, with the technology continuously evolving, you want your money in different parts of the world in the way you want it. For example, wallets are very popular in Africa, in countries like Philippines, mainly the developing economies. They've sort of leapfrogged the whole banking system and moved ahead, right? There is also a new way of moving money. It is to what we call proxy accounts. So for example, I can move money to a phone number. In India, we have UPI. In Thailand, we have PromptPay. In Singapore, we have FastPay. We have something similar here in UAE, where you can send money to somebody's phone number. You don't necessarily need to know their bank account, their routing number, the SWIFT code, blah, 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 blah. So NIUM manages the ability to move money to anything, whether it's a wallet, whether it's a bank account, whether it's a Visa or Master Direct card, whether it is a proxy account. So the end beneficiary could receive money in the way that they want. So there's definitely there. I think there are 4 basic challenges with money movement, right, around the world. So, and I call it, I have an acronym called CUTS, right, which sort of lays it out there. One is the cost. Right? The cost needs to be meaningful for people to move money. Second is ubiquity. You don't want to be able to send money in country X in a certain way, country Y in a different way, country Z in a different way, right? So you need to have ubiquity of presence. The third part is transparency. You need to know where your money is at a given point in time. If you send the money through legacy systems, for 5 days, you may not know where the money is until it actually gets there, right? The last part of it is the ability to really, and I'm missing the point on S, is seamlessness, right? Or speed, if you want to call it that, which is real time. So the money gets there in the instance. So if you look at the trends, if any company that is able to manage those 4 challenges, they have the right ability to win.
Yeah. Okay, and final question. We're obviously here at Seamless, here in Dubai. Have you seen anything interesting over the last day and a half here, other than obviously what you guys are doing? And any interesting trends that you think, okay, that's going to be something interesting?
I think, so Seamless is quite vast, right? It's got e-commerce, it's got payments, it's got all these different players. So one is just the richness, right? I mean, just if you look at the breadth of the show, there are a lot of different players here selling very, very varied types of goods and services around the world. So when I came here, I was taken aback, right? So I would call the richness and diversity of the offerings was something that I felt set this show apart from others. The other part of it is, every part of the world has its own dimensions. So if you look at the Middle East, literally trillions of dollars move across this market. So the largest remittances markets outside of the United States are UAE and Saudi, right? So I've seen a lot of new players emerge catering to specifically these markets. I was on a panel yesterday speaking with the people who are doing UPI payments in India and similar fast payments here in UAE. So just vibrant ecosystem is what I would call it. Diversity and just breadth is what sets it apart.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for spending time with me at Seamless TV, powered by the FinTech Times.
Well, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.